Andreas Behring Breivik, and the 22nd of July 2011, a date that will live in infamy for the attack on Oslo and the massacre of innocents on Utøya Island. 98 people were dead. But what is the context of political and military solutions to conservative terrorism? The man self-identified himself, the vermin self-identified himself as a terrorist of the ultra-conservative Freemasonry type. We must now take seriously this threat. We cannot be incredulous, speak with incredulity about and call people nutcases because they speak on the subject of Freemasonry. It is a serious military economic threat. It is about Thatcherism in the context of Great Britain. It is about extreme monetarism and extreme terrorism in the context of the United States. Not as a nation, but in the subjects of Timothy McVeigh's bombing of FBI buildings, of people like Alex Jones, who's a media presenter who presents conspiracy theories saying that people other than the Bin Ladens did 9/11. These are all serious threats, and these people have the context in history of creating wars, such as the Boer War, because of the Milner and Rhodes group, were also in their time could be considered Thatcherites or ultra conservatives. Now, that's not to clarify terms. I will speak of them as ultra conservatives from this point on in the video, so that there is no confusion for Norwegians watching this video. Ultra conservatives believe in the domination of individuals by the market and psychology, and the use of and application of terror, as was shown in Oslo. These people are now no longer using knives and poison. They are using it to fight wars or gain political capital. They are using direct bombings of the city of Oslo and shootings with assault rifles on Utøya Island, killing women and children. What is the political and military solution to this? Well, as I spoke about in my many videos on the Bin Ladens, and if I'm not frightened of the Bin Laden crime family and the Saudi crime family, who do have a stranglehold on the economic situation in the world, in that they have billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars worth of oil, banking and construction money, why would I be frightened of Thatcherites and Freemasons and ultra conservatives? I am not frightened of them. That they are a significant force for evil and crime, and they need to be weeded out. Before 1945, it was arguable to say that they had a stranglehold on the establishment in Great Britain because of the power of such groups as the Milner Group. But after 1945, with the Keynesian militarism of World War II and the Keynesian military system, which developed during World War II to fight Nazism and National Socialism, social democracy developed a system through the university system which destroyed that old establishment and created a new establishment through the university system. Much of this development meant that the British Empire in effect spawned the EU, as the university systems of Britain and Germany melded together to create an alternative to National Socialism, and that was European social democracy. Now, this has lost its way in many ways because it's been infiltrated in turn by multiculturalism. That is the political context in which we are speaking. But there are other threats to Europe than multiculturalism or Thatcherism, and that is, of course, Islam, jihadism, and the civilizational stress of Europe and America being challenged by China and by a more expressive and more violent and terroristic system of crime families and feudalistic crime families such as the Bin Ladens and Saudis. There are others, other crime families and feudalistic families, but they did not do 9/11. Now, or as Thatcherites would have you have us ultra conservatives such as Alex Jones would have us believe, this man, Andreas Breivik, I believe, was radicalised by such groups of ultra conservatives on the internet, and got himself into this. And since he was 23, he's been planning it and creating bombs and weapons to carry out this attack. So there's a long length of time, because he's 32, that he's been planning this. So he has in effect created himself as a sleeper cell within a criminal organisation, which is very, very loose. But there are maybe thousands of people involved in it. Indeed, I believe there are thousands of people involved in it, because otherwise they would not have as much media and political capital that they had to put in prime ministers and other people in, such as Margaret Thatcher herself, in Britain. But I do not believe these people were directly involved in the Oslo bombing. I believe Andreas Breivik was radicalised by them and then did the attack. What is the military and political solution to this? Well, it is Fabian incrementalism, the same way that we criminalised Al Qaeda and the Bin Laden crime families, ejected them out of the international system, because the Bin Laden crime family was invited by Thatcherites to Britain to build up city blocks in London and in other places throughout the Western world. They were a construction company. Now, all these symptoms of civilizational stress on Western society will falter on the person who's most likely to break a fault line. And Andreas Breivik was a fault line. He cracked under that civilizational pressure. That is one theory. The other theory was that he was a sick, psychopathic bastard, which he certainly is. And he will get his day in court when his victims will never see the light of day. They will never have their day to speak.